Hey guys, check this out. We're at Fission Cycles. I'm here with Joseph. You're the COO.
CO, yes.
Sweet, man. I'd love to hear a little bit about your company because it looks like you're focused on these fat bikes, but it sounds like hunting is actually one of the...
Yeah, hunting is one of our big focuses. We started off in 2020. We designed the FM750X.
Is this the first one right here?
This is one of the first ones that we put together. We designed it from scratch.
Look at that display, man. This is, and it even has a USB port on the bottom, maybe?
It has a USB port on the bottom, but
Sweet.
What makes it pretty special is there's actually a sensor inside of the display, and you can turn on an auto light feature. So as it starts to get dark and you're in the woods, it automatically turns on your headlights and taillights and makes it really safe.
Can we do it right now? You like cover it up?
Yeah,
and...
yeah. Or auto light.
Oh, there it is. Wow. Nicely done. Okay, and I'm seeing all kinds of mounting points. That's right where you want it, by the way, on the steer tube up there. Pretty burly. Does it have a big battery pack too? Is that one of your features?
So it's a 20 amp hour battery.
Whoa.
And you can expect somewhere between 40-60 mile range depending on your riding style with this battery.
Because they are heavier. You got the bigger tires that could have some drag, but when you have a bigger battery, there you go. You can carry the cargo.
It's a nice trade-off.
Yeah, some gear. And this one...
So we just started, we've sold to police forces before, but we just started to work with some local police forces to design a more focused bike to have the lights and other things. And
here in Denver, or where are you guys based?
Not in Denver. We're based out of West Virginia.
West Virginia. Is this also the same bike right there? Is that the same one?
Yes, that's the same in a different color.
I love it.
And we have a new trailer that we brought out this year.
Oh, show me this. And by the way, how powerful is that motor? I see you got a hub motor.
Yeah, so that's a 750 truck run hub motor, and one of the neat features about it is it's actually adjustable. So in your settings, you can toggle it to be a 1,000 watt output.
Wow.
You need a little bit more power.
Some of that off-road, you know, what is that, like a certain nature land or something where they don't have...
That's exactly why we did it. So in West Virginia, we helped write the e-bike legislation. There's 3-class system.
Yeah.
And you're usually able to ride class 1, 2, and 3 in the national forest or public lands.
Yeah.
But once you get past 750 watts, it's no longer in the class system. So that's why we do that. Private property, you can use 1,000 watts. Public land, 750.
There you go. Okay, and this is the trailer, huh?
Yeah, so this is our game trailer. You can use it, it's big enough to use with a deer, or it's great for camping, so you can see coolers and fishing.
Absolutely. And even has fat tires, so that kind of gives you some more float and...
Oh yeah, gives you a little bit more stability for hauling out bigger things. Has quick release in the wheels.
Whoa!
And then, yeah, so your quick release is here. You can pop those off, and the whole trailer folds in.
I was looking at that right there.
Real nice and neat.
That's perfect. You got to save space, you know, if you're putting this in the garage or something. Looks like it has a removable battery pack. I'm noticing a suspension fork, so that's a good feature. And maybe it has like a lockout right here.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Kind of compression lockout. Preload.
Adjust your compression on it.
Disc brakes. We're looking at 180 millimeters. So what's the price on these?
So these retail for $2,600.
$2,600? Not bad. Yeah, I really like the display. And oh, I wanted to check the drivetrain on this. So we got a Shimano Altus. Yep. Yes. So we got like Tourney and then Altus. So you got one step up. Is this like 11 to 32 kind of spread on this? Maybe a 7-speed?
I believe so.
Oh, 8-speed. Hey, okay. Locking grips and stuff.
And down here we designed a special cover. So this is where your wire goes into the hub motor.
Yeah.
So we made this more robust out of aluminum. That way it doesn't get sheared off if you hit something.
Great attention to detail. I've noticed like some companies have like a derailleur guard, but then that sticks out extra.
Right.
And on yours, you've got that port like really tough.
It's nice and neat and durable.
Now what about this one? This is crazy, man. It's full suspension.
So this is our newest bike we just introduced at this show. We call it the XP1000.
Wow.
And it's a 1,000 watt Bafang Ultra motor.
Mid-drive.
Mid-drive.
Wow.
So lots of power. And something that's very unique to it is that we use dirt bike suspension, which in comparison to like the RockShox that you see on the other bike, it's similar in performance, but it's much cheaper, so you get this bike for a lot better price point.
So interesting. Yeah, it's like the coil over, which I've heard, and I'm not an expert on this, but when you're like rapidly encountering that travel, the air, it can kind of change the dynamics of your suspension, but
Right.
the coilover doesn't. And so it can be a little bit more robust for motorsport activities.
Absolutely, yes.
So it looks like we got pretty good travel, and then up front we've got an inverted suspension with a nice shield right here. So coming back to that hunting application, and I wanted to get some more info on the tires. Oh yeah, it looks like 4.8, so a fat tire is 4 inches. 4.8, these are like extra large.
Yes.
What were you gonna tell me about the back here?
Oh yeah, so one of the things that we spent a lot of time and detail on was the rear connection. So you can see it's really beefy and thick.
Yeah.
And what happens is with these style of bikes, you have so much power coming from your motor, it causes this to flex sideways.
Yes, I've heard that.
So we wanted to make sure that that would not happen on this bike. You're able to use it for years and years without having any flex or parts to wear out.
Smart. Good job. And it looks like an excellent drivetrain right here too. So 11-speed SRAM NX, and up front looks like a narrow wide chainring too, so you got that good retention. It won't bounce off quite as easily if you are on that really rough terrain. I'm betting this is a pretty heavy bike, but then you've got the suspension and everything. It probably feels more like a motorcycle a little bit.
Oh gosh, it rides like it's like you're on air.
Yeah. Well, let's go to so this one, it's not fat tire. This is almost like an enduro bike or something.
Yeah. So this bike we put together, we wanted to have something on the higher end that was, just really cool and awesome for our consumers. And so it's a carbon fiber frame.
Oh wow, really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at that.
Really lightweight. It's a Bafang 500 watt motor.
Okay.
You have your RockShox front and back suspension.
Yep, air, so that's nice.
Yep.
Looks like might have boost hub spacing here with a 15mm through axle, and then we've got the plus size tires, 27.5 by 2.8, so you get a little bit more surface area and float on this, so
Right.
not quite as much as a fat tire, but still good.
Still get a lot, yeah.
And a lower attack angle on that as well, while still maintaining that longer travel. This is a cool setup, man. I really
Thank
like.
you.
Are these batteries like cross compatible on your bikes?
For most of them, they are. The 750s, 750Xs that we have, all of these batteries can interchange. Then for our new mountain bike, it's a little bit different.
A little bit different, yeah. Is this also still that high capacity 20 amp hour?
Yeah.
Is it? And it's a 48 volt system, we were saying,
48 volt
yeah.
system.
Look at this. Okay, so you got the trigger throttle up here, nice hydraulic disc brakes from SRAM with tool-free adjustable reach.
Yes.
That's kind of neat to see.
The handlebar.
Oh yeah, dropper posts, kind shock. What's the rotor size on these? Are these like 203mm rotors? Huh, they look pretty big, and it looks like quad piston calipers. This is pretty nicely spec'd bike. Yep, 200mm on those. Nice internal routing, and I love that you've got some bottle cage bosses, even if that's a bit of a precarious spot
Right.
for it. At least you tried. I guess maybe it wouldn't fit here because of the suspension build and that linkage right there. Very nice. How much is this one?
So this retails right under 6,000.
6,000. Not bad for a carbon fiber bike.
Right.
Let's get back up here to the cockpit for a second. Okay, so we got the Bafang display positioned pretty well so it won't encounter damage if you drop the bike. Buttons, you have to reach over the throttle, but they're still within reach. The trigger shifter's over there. I'm guessing they're single click from SRAM. And then I noticed they've got reinforcement eyelets on the rim, so that's a nice little upgrade. And then your speed sensor. So some of the bikes, they're putting that in the hub, especially on the hunting bikes. Do you have that? Like, let's see over here. It might be more integrated. Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, so you got the read sensor. So there's a couple little trade-offs, but all in all, pretty neat to see. Do you happen to have like a camouflage color option?
We will soon, yes.
Okay.
That's one of the colors or patterns that we want to do, absolutely.
Let's finish out with this trike. I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Gotta ask about that. Maybe you could ride me around the show later on this
Yes.
thing, right? We could take turns. This looks like a lot of fun.
Actually, Kaylee and I were riding in it earlier.
Really?
I was in the back and she was pedaling.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah,
It's
so
like a
we-
mid-drive?
It's a hub drive motor that we've placed in the middle. This is actually
Whoa.
the compartment that we designed. You can see it on some of our other bikes as well to keep the controller for easy
Oh,
access.
so that's not the motor. So the hub motor is... Where is the hub motor? It's right here?
Yep, it's right under the case there.
Oh my goodness, what a unique custom design,
Have
man.
the gearing on both sides.
Let's check this out. Okay, so there's the chain ring,
Or I'm sorry, the same side.
and then if we go back, I can see there's a cassette back there. Yep, so I'm guessing Shimano tourney or something, 7-speed with the big thumb shifter up here. Gosh, look at this thing.
We're really excited about is a quick release on your handlebars.
Oh yeah.
So you can do quick adjustments, or if you have multiple people riding, they can switch it to fit them.
Perfect. Now, who is this for? Because you mentioned hunting, but this feels a little bit more like expedition babysitting or something like that.
So even in hunting, this comes in handy when you're hauling out gear to a certain place. But
yeah,
we don't primarily, well, let me back up a little bit. We do think a lot about hunting, but we also like to consider, you know, other groups that use e-bikes, and this kind of fits into multiple categories.
It's one of the coolest trikes I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Definitely cool. So we got the speed sensor up front and a bigger size tire in the front. Oh, let's just look at this. So this is a 48 volt, 750 watt. That's the hub motor we were talking about before. 960 watt hours, the 48 volt by 20 amp hour color display. Torque sensing, I'm surprised. I would have thought cadence sensing. Is it like the Bafang torque sensor bottom bracket thing? Okay, so it's a little bit more dynamic. And then, is this also like, yep, there we go, trigger throttle setup. Drivetrain, 7-speed, there we go. Quad piston, hydraulic brakes again, that's pretty neat. And it looks like you have 3 of them, so each wheel, 160 millimeter rotors. And then we look at the tires, 20 by 4 inch for the rear tires. If we come up to the front tire, let's see if we can, yep, 24 by 4. So still a little bit smaller. A standard size tire like you'd see on these other bikes, they're 26. So brings the whole trike down, makes it more approachable, really approachable step through frame. And this color is like sparkly black. Is that,
yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's black, and then once you get up close, you can see the multicolored flake in the paint. It's a really beautiful paint job. And then there's a differential in the back that helps with turning, makes it more smooth. Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. And does it come with this box and this stuff here?
Yeah, so this is a bamboo cart for the back, and all this stuff is included. There's a seat inside if you want to haul a second person or a kid.
Yeah.
And strap them in.
How much is the trike?
So it's going to run around $3,000, and we expect to have them on the market around November, December of this year.
Okay, and do you sell direct, or you having dealers and stuff, or what?
Yeah, we started off in West Virginia, and we've spread out from there. We have about 80 retail locations on the East Coast and mid-U.S.,
Congrats.
Central U.S.
It's going well.
And we do some online sales as well.
Well, this is fantastic, man. I appreciate it. What's your website?
We are FissionCycles.com.
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate it, Joseph.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.